Hello everybody and welcome back to Aerospace Matt. Today I am going to be doing a competition comparison video between the E-Flite F-15 Eagle and the E-Flite Viper jet 70mm EDF. Both of these are good beginner RC jets, however they are not good beginner airplanes. If you have had experience flying radio controlled airplanes and would like to step up into jets, this video is for you. Let's take a look at both of the planes and I'll come back and review. That was the best landing I've had with my E-Flite Viper jet 70mm. So we start out with reviewing the E-Flite F-15 Eagle 64mm. It runs on a 4-cell 2200 and it has a 3-minute and 30-second flight time. Fairly quick. Obviously it's a jet, so it takes more milliamps quicker, thus the flight time is less. However, you can stretch it to roughly 4 minutes if you keep the power off. And speaking of the power off, I flew it with the ordnance and the landing gear, and the aircraft still retains its energy extremely well. I have reviewed this airplane in the past, so if you'd like to check out that video, there's a link down below in the description that you can click on once you've finished watching this one. The F-15 has an extremely fast roll rate, so just be aware of that, especially if you've never flown a jet before. You might want to dial it down using the dual rate and expo feature in your transmitter. On the other hand, the Viper jet 70mm runs on a 3200 to 4000 milliamp 6-cell battery. I run it on a 3300 60C. Very good, gives me flight times of 4 minutes. This aircraft has retractable landing gear and flaps to aid in the landing. While the Viper jet has a less roll rate than the F-15, making it seemingly more easier to fly, it does have a higher wing loading, so the aircraft needs to be landed slightly faster. The aircraft definitely needs to have full flaps on the landing, as I discovered on the flight that you just saw. Also, it should be noted that the aircraft does have a tip stall tendency, whereas the F-15 will just stall and nose down. Definitely be aware of keeping your airspeed up if you choose the Viper 70mm as your first EDF. After flying both the E-Flite F-15 and the E-Flite Viper jet, it is my opinion that the best beginner RC EDF jet is the F-15 Eagle 64mm. The reason I believe the F-15 is the best jet is because it has a low wing loading, so you don't have to worry about landing fast. Actually, this aircraft can land quite slow, and mostly throttle off. It retains its energy really well. Now, the Viper 70 does have some good qualities of a beginner jet. However, the tip stall tendency of the Viper is something that every pilot should be concerned about. So it's not the best for a beginner who should have a jet that you don't really have to worry about and can learn how EDFs fly. It is a different feeling to how propellers fly. You can physically tell that the thrust is coming from inside the aircraft and pushing it rather than pulling it like a tractor propeller through the air. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Aerospace Matt. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the beginner RC jet pilots out there will have some good information to choose the best EDF jet for you. Like I said, the F-15 is in my personal opinion the better of the two aircraft. However, feel free to choose the Viper jet if you so wish. If you haven't subscribed to Aerospace Matt, feel free to do so because I have some neat projects coming out in the future. Here's a sneak peek of the next video. If you can figure out what I'm using this 64mm EDF that I actually stole out of this F-15 for the project, if you can guess what I'm going to use that for, you're awesome. And if you don't quite know what I'm going to use it for, well, feel free to stick around to the channel and you'll see in the next video. Alright guys, take care.